Hi, we're Jackie and Bobby with Ascension.
I wasn't ready. I'm still...
Hi, we're Jackie and Bobby Angel with Ascension Presents. And a fun topic today, Lenten date ideas. So some ideas to go off the beaten path with your loved one this Lenten season.
That's a good date idea. Go off the beaten path. Idea number one. Seriously, take some walks in nature, folks.
So Lent is a special season of the church where we're preparing for the celebration of Christ's resurrection and the Easter season. But Lent is a
penitential. That's why we're wearing blue and purple.
Yeah, so
Penance.
It's a time to wake up a bit and get out of our routines. And so when it comes to our dates, what are some ideas to spice it up or not spice it up to make it more dull and penitential?
Abstain from food. I used to think when they said abstinence on Fridays, I was like, wait, so you can't have... I didn't get it was for meat when I was younger. I just learned that a year ago.
Some of the practices of Lent are prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So how do we do that with the person we're dating, whether we're just dating, engaged, or married? First of all,
because even when you're married, you're still dating.
First of all, most important is to pray together. So to check out what's going on at your local parish, adoration, Stations of the Cross, just stopping in to pray together, maybe even before you go out on a date, or making time to go early in the morning before work, just to really take that time that we're not only fostering our own prayer life, but we're supporting each other in the journey.
And after you go on to this date night to Stations of the Cross, you can go to the Knights of Columbus fish fry or cheese pizza night. You could also pray together by wearing hair shirts and sitting down and reading scripture together as a form of penance. You know?
Whose hair? We don't know. Food is wonderful. We love to feast on food, and Lent is a time where we simplify and we strip back some of the extravagances we can grow so accustomed to. And so embracing fasting practices together by simplifying our meals, and which is not just a way to save money on a date, but in an intentional way of the money we would have spent on maybe this kind of meal, we're going to prepare it ourselves. We're going to make it more simple. We're going to use some of that money when it comes for the almsgiving part. Maybe the money we would have spent on a nicer dinner, we're going to tithe that. We're going to give that to the poor. And for us, we're going to simplify that meal.
You could also feed each other locusts and honey. That's very penitential.
It's organic.
We're not promoting insects eating. But John the Baptist, he did.
Another idea could be to volunteer together. So to put the love that God has shown us into action with our beloved, to serve at a soup kitchen, to make supplies for the homeless, to make supplies just to have a ready-go bag to give to someone in need. I think it's just so important to we serve shoulder to shoulder with our beloved is just such a beautiful witness to the world that it's not about we're a self-enclosed little relationship. The love has to go out to our communities.
Yeah, it's nice to have, that could be a date night as you're making bags together for anytime you see someone maybe on a corner asking for money or for food. Really, you could Google all the ideas that people have, because people will say, if you have leftover backpacks or all those bags that you get at the store, that aren't plastic, that you could put in deodorant, you could put in baby wipes, hand wipes, you could put in gift cards. People have endless amounts of ideas if you Google it. So you can make that a date night. Or
another thing could be when it comes to technology, fasting from streaming that series you've watched for 5 times in a row. No streaming, no media. We're just going to do board games. We're going to do tabletop games with other couples maybe. That can be a really fun way to just, again, it's not rocket science. It's just kind of shaking it up and saying I'm going to be intentional and not just zone out it's so easy to do.
We don't just fast from food. We can fast from technology. We fast from the things that we're I probably need to get this out of my life. So you can do that together, which I'm sure most of us probably are on screens too much. We probably watch too much TV. There's a lot of things. So yeah, instead you can stare at each other's eyes for hours and hours like they used to do in the old days.
You could do a hiking rosary with another person. And that's just a way to bring the prayer into the world, into action, to get out into nature.
I forgot to tell you, Bobby, this year we're fasting from a mattress and we're sleeping on cardboard like the CFRs do. So congratulations.
Communication is important.
If you are fasting from technology, and maybe instead of watching a movie, you could read a book together. You could listen to a podcast together. I hear Ascension has a couple really good podcasts, Catechism and Ear. I'm actually listening to both Catechism and the Catholic Classics. You could listen to that with your significant other. That you guys can find so many ways to be creative. Or you could feed each other locusts and honey and sit in sackcloth and ashes and wear hair shirts.
Go big or go home. But above all, we're preparing ourselves for the glory of Christ's resurrection. So in all these things, have fun, but we're challenging each other to holiness. Like we're pushing each other to be better, to be excellent, to grow in virtuous friendship as well as love for the other. And so this Lenten season, just be creative and ask God to give you the grace to be joyful in the penances and to offer up the time you have together for your sanctification and for the joy to radiate to the world.
And above all, fish fries. Hey, if you have any comments on some things that you've thought of that are creative, put them in the comments. We would love to hear them. So like, comment, subscribe. You guys probably have such better ideas than we do because we just sit and stare at each other all Lent, and that's our bed.
In our hair shirts. From all of us at Ascension Presents, God bless.
I forgot to tell you, but I forgot to tell. Oh, you could sit in sackcloth and ashes together. That would be a good form of penance, but not so much for almsgiving. I think I know someone who fasted from electricity.
Moving on. So above all, we're
Fish fries.